Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to apologize for the slight delay in the commencement of this meeting. It was due to network problem. Before we commence the business of the day, may I request every one of us to rise up for the national anthem. May I request one of the shareholders to lead us in prayer, please? We have the mic here. One of the shareholders will please just lead us in a short prayer.
Thank you, Lord, for bringing us together to deliberate on the progress of our company, Morison Nigeria PLC. We thank you for the journey so far. We thank you for where you are taking us to, and we believe that you, God, will reactivate and revive this company. Father, we thank you for the life of the directors, the workers, and the stakeholders. And we are appealing to you that as we are deliberating here today, you will guide all our doings here, and everything we do shall be honored by you, Lord. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Let's be seated, please. Okay. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my colleagues on the board, and our esteemed shareholders, distinguished professional advisors and consultants, representatives of regulatory bodies, present, honored guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, it is about almost 11:30 now. May we now proceed with the 65th Annual General Meeting. May I also remind you that this is an A.G.M by proxy, and permission have been duly sought and obtained from the Corporate Affairs Commission and is being streamed live online. In accordance with Section 230 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2004 and Article 55 of the Articles of Association of the company, the quorum for this meeting is 3 members present in person or by proxy. Shall be a quorum and eligible to vote at the annual general meeting. May I now call on the registrars to give a report of the proxy received. The registrar, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Morning, Mr. Chairman, Board of Directors, and distinguished shareholders of Morison Industries PLC. I welcome you to the 65th Annual General Meeting of Morison Industries PLC. And as registrars, we are going to deliver a proxy report for this meeting. We received a total of 50 duly executed proxies, amounting to 142,410,563 units of shares, which constitutes approximately 14.40% of the issued share capital of the company. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Registrar. The required quorum haven't been formed. With your consent, I hereby declared and open the 65th Annual General Meeting of Morison Industry PLC. Thank you. It gives me great pleasure, therefore, to introduce those physically present with us at this meeting. To my immediate right is Mr. A.G.M Mustafa, the Acting Managing Director of our company. And next to him is Mr. John Adekuje, a non-executive director, he is also physically present here. And to my immediate left is Ms. Bose Agbetu, our company secretary. Other directors are virtually participating with us online. They are Engineer Charles Ozezwa, a non-executive director, Pastor Ayeni Phillips, a non-executive director, and Mrs. Barrister Afolake Lawal, a non-executive director. My name is Richard Titiloye, also a non-executive chairman of your company. I'm physically present at this meeting is Mr. Chuks Osadinizu, chairman of the audit committee and of your company shareholders representative. Professional advisors and regulators. We have with us here representative of BDO Professional Services, which is our independent auditors, Mr. Jibola Falola. You're welcome. And representing Security and Exchange Commission is Mrs. Kelechi Asubeke Lok. Is joining us, by virtual online. And also the representative of Nigerian Stock Exchange, Antonia Ame, is also joining us virtually. The Corporate Affairs Commission had advised that it will not be sending a representative on account of COVID-19 pandemonium. I also like to introduce the representative of Cardinal Stone Registrars, Mr. Raymond Akokota. Thank you, you're welcome. Finally, and most importantly, I wish to acknowledge our esteemed shareholders, those who are attending physically and those joining us. And I'll call on the company secretary to read the notice convening this meeting. Company secretary.
Good morning, distinguished shareholders and everyone here present. The notice of the annual general meeting of Morison Industries PLC is contained on page 4 to 5 of the annual report. I read. Notice is hereby given that the 65th annual general meeting of Morison Industries PLC will hold on the 28th day of October 2020 at 10 a.m. at the Amber Residence, 16 Eshubayi Street, GRA, Ikeja, Lagos, to transact the following business. Ordinary business, to lay before the meeting the report of the directors, the audited financial statement for the year ended 31 December 2018 and 31 December 2019, together with the reports of the auditors and audit committee thereon. To elect or re-elect directors, including Mr. Richard Olani Titiloye, who is 70 years old. Special notice to that effect having been received by the company in accordance with Section 256 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, Cap 620, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004. 3, to authorize the directors to fix the remunerations of the auditors. 4, to elect the members of the audit committee. Special business, to fix the remuneration of directors. 6, that the general mandate given to the company to enter into recurrent transactions with related parties for the company's day-to-day operations, including the procurement of goods and services on normal commercial terms in compliance with the NSC rules governing transactions with related parties or interested persons, be and is hereby renewed. Amendment to the Articles of Association. To consider and, if thought fit, pass the following resolution as a special resolution. A, that Article 100 of the Articles of Association of the company be and is hereby amended to read as follows. The quorum necessary for the transaction of the business of the directors may be fixed by the directors, and unless so fixed, shall be 3. A meeting of the board of directors may be held by conference call, video call, or other digital or electronic means. A director shall be entitled to participate in the board meeting by any digital or electronic means, and where a director so participates, it shall be counted for the purpose of determining whether a quorum has been constituted and for determining the outcome of any vote taken at the meeting. B, that the Articles of Association of the company be and is hereby amended by introducing a new Article 101, which shall read as follows. A resolution in writing signed or approved by letter, electronic mail, telegram or telex, or by any other electronic means whatsoever, by all the directors, or unless the board mandates appointing or constituting the committee otherwise direct, by all the members of a committee for the time being, shall be as valid and effectual as if it had been passed at a meeting of the directors, or as the case may be, at such committee meeting duly called and constituted. Such resolution may be contained in one document for electronic transmission, or in several documents or electronic form, email or otherwise, each counterpart signed or approved by the director or directors or members of the committee concerned. For the purpose of this article, the signature or electronic approval as aforesaid of an alternate director, if any, entitled to notice of meeting of the directors shall suffice in place of the signature or approval of director appointing him. C, that subsequent article shall be renumbered accordingly by order of the board. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me disclose that the register of directors' attendance at board meeting is available for inspection during this meeting in compliance with the provisions of Section 83 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, 2004. I want to seek your concurrence about the chairman's statement. Should we take it as read? Thank you so much. Yes, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Ibekwe Roberts, I don't know how is my name. I'm actually a shareholder, but I'm representing Morison in this meeting, sir. Most likely I'm not a proxy, but since I'm a shareholder, I please plead that you allow me to speak. As we are going to accept the chairman's statement as read, I would have suggested that you first seek the shareholders' approval, possibly to take the two accounts together. Because the secretary read that of 2019. It's okay by me. But that of 2018 is like we're having a combined meeting. So you would have sought the shareholders' approval to take the two meetings together. Please,
I am coming to that.
Thank you, sir.
Is the next thing on our table.
I appreciate, sir. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
We'll come to that. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all aware that we are taking the statutory accounts of our company for 2 years, 2018 and 2019. I want to seek your permission that our transactions at this meeting should combine the two accounts together so that we can discuss it, so that we can save time and we can move forward. Somebody? Yes?
So since I said earlier, I'm going to use the contact.
Thank you so much. All right. Okay. Can you say it again? Your name? Okay. Okay. Right. We have both the ordinary and special businesses to transact at this A.G.M. in line with Section 214 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen, shareholders, professional advisors, gentlemen of the press, the first ordinary business on our agenda for this meeting is to consider and receive the audited financial statements of the company as well as the directors and auditors' reports thereon for the year ended 31st December 2018 and 31st December 2019, which had been published and circulated. May I therefore call on the representative of our auditors, BDO professionals, to present their report to our distinguished members. The auditors, please.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, sir, members of the Board of Directors, the Chairman of the Audit Committee, the regulators, representatives of the regulator present, distinguished shareholders, ladies and gentlemen. I want to seek your permission, since 2018 audited opinion is not modified, is similar to that of 2019, to go ahead and read the opinion for 31 December 2019. Thank you very much, sir. Independent auditors report to the shareholders of Morison Industry PLC. Report on the audit of the financial statements. Opinion. We have audited the financial statement of Morison Industry PLC, which comprise the statement of financial position as at 31 December 2019, the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, statement of changes in equity, and statement of cash flow for the year then ended, and notes to the financial statement, including a summary of significant accounting policies and other explanatory notes. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statement gives a true and fair view of the financial position of the company as at 31 December 2019 and of its financial performance and cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with international financial reporting standard and in compliance with the relevant provisions of the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Act No. 6, 2011 and the Companies and Allied Matters Act Cap C20 LFN 2004. Basis for opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with international standard of auditing. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the financial statement section of our report. We are independent of the company in accordance with International Ethics Standard Board of Accounting Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, together with ethical requirements that are relevant to our audit and of the financial statement in Nigeria. And we have fulfilled our other ethical responsibilities in accordance with these requirements and the International Ethics Standard Board Code. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. Key audit matters. Key audit matters are those matters that, in our professional judgment, were of most significance in our audit of the financial statement of the current year. These matters were addressed in the context of our audit of the financial statement as a whole and informing our opinion thereon, and we do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. Revenue recognition, the risk. Revenue is recognized and posted as sales when invoices are raised, irrespective of whether the goods have been delivered and the way be endorsed by the customers. There is a risk that sales may not exist and be misstated, as transfer of control may not have passed to the third party in line with companies' accounting policies and the provision of International Financial Reporting Standard IFRS 15. Our response. Our audit procedures in response to the risk included, among others, confirmation of revenue cycle cutoff from goods dispatched from completeness at year end for a selected sample of signed delivery notes like way bills listing in the verified store record. We obtain details of dispatches of inventory prior to and subsequent to the year end and confirm that they were appropriately treated. We trace delivery notes way bills signed by the customer to his or his representative as maintained to invoices recorded in the sales ledger before and after year end. We verified and confirmed that revenue and receivables were recorded in the appropriate period. Responsibility of the directors for the financial statement. The directors are responsible for the preparation and fair presentation of the financial statement in accordance with International Financial Reporting Standard issued by the International Accounting Standard Board and in compliance with the relevant provision of the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Act No. 6, 2011 and the Companies and Other Matters Act Cap C 20, 2004, and for such internal control as director determine is necessary to enable the preparation of financial statements that are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. In preparing the financial statements, the directors are responsible for assessing the company's ability to continue as a going concern, disclosing as applicable matters related to going concern, and using the going concern basis of accounting unless the directors either intend to liquidate the company or to cease operation or have no realistic alternative but to do so. Other information. The directors are responsible for other information. The other information comprises the information included in the chairman's statement and director's report, but does not include the financial statement and our auditor's report thereon. Our opinion on the financial statement does not cover the other information, and we do not express any form of assurance conclusion thereon. In connection with our audit of the financial statement, our responsibility is to read the other information and in doing so, consider whether the other information is materially inconsistent with the financial statement or knowledge obtained during the audit or otherwise appears to be materially misstated. If based on the work we have performed, we conclude that there is a material misstatement of this information, we are required to report that fact. We have nothing to report in this regard. Auditor's responsibility for the audit of the financial statement. Our objectives are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statement as a whole are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error, and to issue a report that includes our opinion. Reasonable assurance is a high-level assurance, but is not a guarantee that an audit conducted in accordance with international standard on auditing will always detect a material misstatement when it exists. Misstatement can arise from fraud or error and are considered material if individually or in the aggregate they could reasonably be expected to influence the economic decision of users taken on the basis of this financial statement. As part of an audit in accordance with international standard on auditing, we exercise professional judgment and maintain professional skepticism throughout the audit. We also identify and assess the risk of material misstatement of the financial statement, whether due to fraud or error, design and perform audit procedures responsive to those risks, and obtain audit evidence that is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. The risk of not detecting a material misstatement resulting from fraud is higher than for one resulting from error, as fraud may involve collusion, forgery, intentional omissions, misrepresentations, or the override of internal control. Obtain an understanding of internal control relevant to the audit in order to design audit procedures that are appropriate in the circumstances, but not for the purpose of expressing an opinion on the effectiveness of the company's internal control. Evaluate the appropriateness of accounting policies used and the reasonableness of accounting estimates and related disclosures made by the directors. Conclude on the appropriateness of directors' use of going concern basis of accounting, and based on all the evidence obtained, whether a material uncertainty exists related to events or conditions that may cast significant doubt on the company's ability to continue as a going concern. If we conclude that a material uncertainty exists, we are required to draw attention in our auditor's report to the related disclosures in the financial statement, or if such disclosures are inadequate, to modify our opinion. Our conclusions are based on the audit evidence obtained up to the date of our auditor's report. However, future event or condition may cause the company to cease to continue as a going concern. Evaluate the overall presentation, structure, and content of the financial statement, including disclosures and whether the financial statement represents the underlying transactions and events in a manner that achieves fair presentation. We communicate with the directors regarding, among other matters, the plan, scope, and timing of the audit and significant audit findings and any significant deficiencies in internal control that we identify during our audit. Report on other legal and regulatory requirements. The Companies and Other Matters Act, Cap C20, LFN 2004, requires that in carrying out our audit, we consider and report to you on the following matters. We confirm that we have obtained all the information and explanations which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audit. In our opinion, proper books of accounts have been kept by the company, and the company's statement of financial position and its statement of profit and loss and other comprehensive income are in agreement with the books of accounts. Signed by Ebenezer O. Olabisi for BDO Professional Services in Lagos, Nigeria, dated 27 May 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Falola, representing BDO Professionals. Ladies and gentlemen, it is necessary at this junction to have the report of the Statutory Audit Committee before we proceed to comment and receive the account. It is my pleasure, therefore, to request the chairman of the Statutory Audit Committee to present their report to the shareholders.
Good morning, all. The chairman, board of directors, permitting to read the audit committee report for the year ending 2019. Distinguished shareholders, sir. The audit committee report is on page 26 and it's for the year 2019. In accordance with the provision of section 356, 359/6 of the Company and Allied Matter Act, Cap C20, laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, we are examining the auditor's report for the year ended on the 1st December 2019. We have obtained all the information and explanation we require. In our opinion, the auditor's report is consistent with our review of the scope of planning of the audit. We are also satisfied that the accounting and reporting policies of the company are in accordance with legal requirements and agree with fair practice. Having reviewed the auditor's findings and recommendations on management matters, we are satisfied with management response thereof. We acknowledge the cooperation of the auditors, BDO Professional Services, Chartered Accountant and Management, and staff of the company in performing our duties. This is dated 21st day of May 2020. Other members of the board, Mrs. Polake Lawal and Mr. Ayeni Feli. My humble self, Mr. Chuso Sadinji, Chairman. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sadinezo, the chairman of the Audit Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, before I call for a motion on both the accounts for 2018 and 2019, I will welcome discussions and questions from members on the financial statement and the director's report and probably the chairman's statement. Comments, questions, please. Yes, please. The man on the front, yes. Please announce your name, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, fellow shareholders, all other people participating physically and virtually, welcome you all to the 65th Annual General Meeting of Morison Industry PLC. My name is Evangelist Dr. Anthony Omani Omojola, the National Coordinator, Independent Shareholder Association of Nigeria. Well, we thank God for the opportunity of being here, especially being able to represent other shareholders in a cozy A.G.M like this. I want to express appreciation to the members of the board, the management, especially the consultants who have been with us for the past 2 years to be able to clean up our At 65 is a matured age, and I believe the stage we are at Morison Industry PLC, we have matured, gone through thick and thin, and it is time for the shareholders and other stakeholders to start benefiting on the return on our investments. So I want to urge the management and staff, starting from the board, to put forward policies and exert enough energy and work assiduously so that we can produce good results that henceforth will have positive return for the investors. In terms of performance, I look at page 3. I know fully well that we are considering 2 years account, the one for those ending at 31st December 2018 and 2019. However, I'll concentrate more on the 2019 because everything is a historic perspectives. On page 3, we have the result at a glance. I can see everything there is negative. Unfortunately, our shareholder fund has not dived seriously. Now we're now talking of 148.9 million naira. This is a very far cry from what we expect. And like I said earlier on, we wish the management could do more. And we expect more from them. If you look at page 30, which borders on the cash flow, you will see that most of the funds generated from the right issue has been expended to settle outstanding issues, especially loans and other related liabilities, thereby trying to clean the account for 2019 operations. In 2019, there hasn't been much. I could just single out 1 or 2 investments there. It goes up to increase our asset. That purchase of property, plant and equipment, with just 1.72 million there. The other activity there goes on to recognize depreciation, decrease in recovery, and increase in trade payables and decrease in employee benefit of obligations. And like I said, much is expected. If you go forward, I read on page 45, capital management. Capital management, the board is looking at having a high-profile trade payables. I do not especially share this, but since they are the one managing the fortune of the company, they are our trustees. We want to believe in them that going forward, they have to be very much critical about that policy. If cash management is done this way and the company is not coming out, then they need to review this. Furthermore, if we look at pages 46 and 47, which borders on the operations of the company, like I said earlier, much has been done between the years 2018 and 2019 to clean up our books. We're happy. The balance sheet is lighter in terms of liabilities and inventories has also been brought to a reasonable level. But we have to watch the receivables, because I look at the analysis of the receivables. It goes to show that those receivables after 3 years are more than the current ones. So when you have such a situation, it means most of them are going to impairment if it's not well managed. That is not too good for us. I want to round up by coming back to the chairman's statement. I see a lot of hope in what the chairman has put forward in his statement, especially on page 8. Page 8, where he has highlighted the outlook for 2020 and 2021. I see this as vocal points and vital points. Business line expansion, contract manufacturing, and outsourcing. These are good things which, if well managed over the years, will bring good returns. I see institutionalized quoting and pricing management, and of course, aggressive engagement of target audience. If we are able to choose our target very well, of course, the audience will be well managed. Having said all this, I want to thank the board once again, the management and the consultant, and the staff that has worked over the years. We can only go but up from this moment, and I wish the company more successes ahead. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you once again, our dear chairman. Robert Ibekwe Adenoba remains my name. Truly, I want to thank you again for allowing me to speak, because I'm not on the proxy, but I'm representing my principal, Sasoni Nwosu, like I did mention. My national coordinator has actually spoken my mind, but I want to also add a little from my mind, not to what he has spoken, but from my mind. The two accounts we are considering are both historical now. And this is October. In fact, 3/4 of this year have gone. So can you please kindly update us with the current trends? Our company is into 3 sectors of our economy: agro-allied, health, and consumer goods. The recent rights, I personally subscribe to that. And I have heard or seen that the income generated from that right was used to
clear loans and things like that. I don't know whether any part of it was plowed back into capital investments or improving our both top line and bottom line. So I am asking, are we making plans to take advantage of the current norm? Thanks, but no thanks to COVID. Since we are into allied products, and our economy in Nigeria now is trending towards agricultural economy, our products, how are we penetrating the government policy of agro-allied manufacturing? Then, I don't know how we took advantage of the COVID with regards to our healthcare and consumer products, with regards to hand sanitizer situation. It has become a normal, it has become a norm. So what have we done? Can you, sir, all I'm trying to say in effect is that, can you update us whether our second quarter, I don't want to talk of third quarter now, our second quarter, whether it has changed from what 2018 and 2019 were? Are we on the right side, on the top side, or we are still in the woods? Please, sir. That's just one question I want to ask. Thank you very much, sir.
Taking all the message questions and I believe that those two speakers have spoken the minds of all the shareholders. Basically, the issue that has been raised borders of where we are and where we are going to. And so I want to call on the acting managing director, who are the managing the business. Please give us an update as to where we are and where we are going to.
Distinguished shareholders, I thank the last two speakers from the shareholders forum. First, the national coordinator, who has actually acknowledged the efforts that we have been able to put in within the last 2 years. And the last speaker, the shareholder representing Sir Sonny Nwosu, I appreciate your point, and that's the appropriate kind of assurance that investors will always want to really know. The past is gone, but what is happening today? Now let me take it from the last one. In terms of response to COVID, the company has been very active in that regard, and by March, we came up with our own sanitizer. Our sanitizer is next to none in Nigeria because it actually complied with WHO specification of 80% ethanol, and it's all over. We comply with regulations, and we continue to comply with regulation in that respect. That's in addition to the surface sanitizer that we had before. This time around, hand sanitizer is really there. We are actually looking out at the economy and still monitoring closely in terms of expanding the business, because the way the Nigerian situation or the economy generally all over the world is, you must do your due diligence and be sure that whatever you're putting your fingers into must come out positive at the end of the day. So we are, if you had been privy to our budget of 2019 and 2020, we got approval to really go into agro-ally. But at a point in time, we had to hold a bit. We have a certificate for that, and we will definitely really make good waves in that direction very soon. I can assure you of that. With respect to what we have done so far in 2020, it's not just about our half-year report. I can boldly say the third quarter report has been very positive. Now, on three major dimensions that is really relevant to investors, the turnover is growing. Because the end of quarter, the third quarter, we're going to publish it within the next few days on our website. As at September 2020, we have surpassed the turnover of the whole of the year of 2019.
2, within the last 3 years,
we have taken deliberate steps to make sure that our cost of sales is coming down. If you observe from the two accounts that you have there, 2018, 2019, our cost of sale was hovering around 80% or something like that. Our target this year is to bring the cost of sales to about 54, 55%. Right now, at the end of September, we've achieved 64, 62, 63%. And so that one has actually increased the margin to 35, and then we're tending towards 44 at the end of the year. And by the grace of God, we will really get there. And 2, as part of your appreciation of the efforts that we've put in, yes, we are cleaning up the system. The system is virtually clean now. That the loss applicable to shareholders' fund has been reduced drastically. If you observe in that report, as at 2018, it was 19 kobo loss. As at 2019, it was like 11 kobo. And as at September, it has been reduced to 4 kobo per share. So they are targeted. By the end of the year, we're going to turn the curve, and then the company is really ready for growth. Thank you very much.
Thank you, MD. May I now have a motion that the accounts for the year ended 31st December 2018 and 2019, the directors and the auditors report thereon, as well as the report of the statutory audit committee now presented at this meeting, be and hereby received. Can I get somebody to...
Observation, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, ma'am.
This account is to lay, it's not to receive. And once it's to lay, there's no need to move a motion for item number 1. I think we can go straight to item number 2.
Your name?
Your name, please.
Bakari Adebisi Oduayemisi is my name. Bakari Adebisi.
Do we all agree with that presentation? All right, thank you so much. Item number 2, appointment and reappointment of directors. During the year, in compliance with regulatory requirements, insisting that we must have a pharmacist on board, the board appointed Mr. John Adekoje, who incidentally was a former managing director of the company, to the board as a non-executive director. I therefore propose that Mr. John Adekoje, nominated by the board, be and here elected as director of Morison Industry PLC. Can I have somebody to support that motion, please? Mr. Shifadi Anju.
Sorry,
All right, please.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, please.
Yeah, before we move that motion, at this stage, I expect the chairman to give us some updates in terms of the directorship. One, we are aware of this controversial Kama. Some of us say it's not been gazetted, but again, if you look at is it chapter 2 or clause 2 in that same canon, as soon as the president appends his signature, it becomes law. So while some people are waiting for gazetting, it is already in law by the time the president appends his signature. What I want to bring out of that is that the current canon requires every company to have 3 independent directors. 3 independent directors. In addition to that, I'm aware of the situation in our audit committee. There's need for, just a moment, there's need for 3 shareholders in the audit committee and 2 directors. Well, just to prepare your mind for what you are doing. The updates are expected from the chairman that the acting MD in Medias since December 2018. Ordinarily, we would have been asking for confirmation, but we know the nature of the acting MD is a consultant, and we are supposed to ease him out as soon as he finishes his job, which is almost done. The update I expect that the chairman should have tell us, yes, there are programs, there are internal arrangements. The man who's acting for us has done his job, and this is the preparation in terms of succession value. Not that you just endorse or re-elect the existing director without knowing what is going on. Thank you. That's the update.
All right, thank you, sir. Incidentally, we are still on that. Sorry?
Observation, sir. Once again, my name is Mrs. Bakari Abibis. Evangelist Omojola, one of my colleagues. Of course, like he said, it's just a gazette. It has not been approved by the president. For that alone, let's just continue our business. Then when the approval now arrives, we can move in that direction as well. And I think you've given us shareholders opportunity to speak. So when seconding a motion, we should go straight to our agenda of today by seconding the motion. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, incidentally, what he has said, it is in my plan to mention it because I'm still under director's appointment and reappointment. And before I leave that, I'm going to make some comment in respect of where we are. So I repeat my motion that I now propose that Mr. John Adekuje, if you look at page 11 of the 2009-2019 account, his profile is there. And I propose that he should be appointed and elected as the director of Morison PLC. May I get somebody to please support that? Second that.
Chairman, yes, I still second. My name is Chief Chibuti Adishi.
Thank you so much. With that secondment, and I now call on the registrar to please give us the result of the resolution.
On the resolution to elect Mr. John Dekoje as director, we have 100% votes in favor of this resolution, amounting to 142,410,563 units of shares. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much, Registrar. I declare the motion carried unanimously. In respect of the re-election of directors, in accordance with Articles 19 and 92 of the Companies and Articles of Association, the directors retiring by rotation are Mr. Richard Titiloye and Mrs. Afolake Lawal, and being eligible, offer themselves for re-election. I now propose that Mr. Richard Titiloye, retiring by rotation, being eligible, offer himself for re-election, be and hereby re-elected as the director. Yes, sir.
Yeah, go. Thank you, sir. Since the chairman is involved, you step aside.
Conflict of interest. All right. I will now call on the MD. Okay, let's the company secretary.
No. Yeah, sir.
Okay, let's the MD. Handle that.
Thank you, sir, for the observation. And we are still on item number 2. The re-election. In accordance with Articles 90 and 92 of the company's Articles of Association, the directors retiring by rotation are Mr. Richard Olaniyi Titiloye and Mrs. Afolake Lawal, and being eligible, offer themselves for re-election. I now propose that Mr. Richard Olaniyi Titiloye, retiring by rotation, being eligible, offers himself for re-election, be and hereby re-elected as director of Morison Industries PLC. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, sir. I wish to second that motion and to pass some comments. And that is about the section 256 of KAMA, which says that he should declare his age, and this he has already done. And also, having attained 70 does not preclude him from being a director of the company. So far, he is mentally alert, and considering the efforts this gentleman has been putting into this business, I will even suggest that he continues as chairman for life. Are you ready for the task? Because the task ahead in this company calls for devotion. You just have to be devoted to the business. The elder Pastor Titiloye retired from his position and had to go and beg Mr. Richard Titiloye from his busy commitments at that time to come to his help. And now he's inside, he can no longer go out. And that is the position. So I support that motion, that Mr. Richard Titiloye continues as a director of Morison Industries PLC. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now call on... I hereby call on the registrars to announce the voting results for the resolution. The registrar.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On the resolution to re-elect Mr. Richard Olaniyi Titiloye as director, we have 100% vote in favor of this resolution, amounting to 142,410,563 units of shares. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Having read the results of the resolution, I now declare the motion unanimously unanimous. Thank you.
Unanimously carried. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank Chief Adesina for the compliment. I appreciate it. All right. I now propose that Mrs. Afolake Lawal, retiring by rotation, being eligible, offers herself for re-election, be and is hereby re-elected as directors of Morison Industry PLC. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is I second the motion, sir.
Thank you so much. And I'll call on the registrar to give the details of the voting.
On the resolution to re-elect Mrs. Afolake Lawal as director, we have 100% votes in favor of this resolution, amounting to 142,410,563 units of shares. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much. I declare the motion carried unanimously. We now move to item number 3 of the agenda. The agenda has to do with the renewal of the appointment of BDO professional as independent auditors and authorizing the directors to fix the remuneration of the auditors. Section 356, paragraph 1 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act laws provide that every company shall at each annual general meeting appoint an auditor or auditors to audit the financial statements of the company and to hold office from the conclusion of that until the conclusion of the next annual general meeting. The Act in Section 361, paragraph 1b, requires that their remuneration be fixed by the company in general meeting or in such manner as the company in general meeting may determine, in practice by the directors, if authorized by the general meeting. I now propose that the appointment of BDO professional as independent auditors of Morison Industry PLC be and is hereby renewed, and that the directors be and are hereby authorized to fix their remuneration. May I have somebody to second that motion? Yes, sir. Your name, please.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. I hereby call on the registrars to give us the result of the vote.
On the resolution to authorize the directors to fix the auditor's remuneration, we have 100% votes in favor of this resolution, amounting to 142,410,563 units of shares. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much, Registrar. I declare the motion carried unanimously. The item number 4 on our agenda has to do with the election of shareholders of the company to the Statutory Audit Committee of the financial year ended 31st December 2020. Section 359 3 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, Cap C20 LPM 2004 mandates that each public company shall establish an audit committee, while subsection 6 of same section outlines the objectives and functions of the committee. Section 359(4) of the Act provides that the committee shall consist of equal number of directors and representatives of the shareholders of the company, subject to a maximum number of 6. The board has approved that the following 2 directors should serve as the statutory audit, should serve in that committee for the financial year ended 31st December 2020. They are Mrs. Afolake Lawal and Pastor Ayeni Phillips. The company secretary received letters of nominations for the following members to represent the shareholders' interest on the audit committee for the year ended 31st December 2020. One is Mr. Osadenizu Shuks Nwosa and Mr. Igweje Benedict Shidibere. Can we have the two standing, please? Mr. Shidibere is not around, online, or else virtually. Since the nominated shareholders are not more than two, which would ordinarily require an election, may I suggest that they be elected to represent the shareholders' interest on the audit committee. I now propose that the election of the shareholders to the... No, that's all right. Since they are all unopposed, so the two candidates, no. Okay, so they are already elected. So we congratulate them and wish them a good tenure of office. Yes, please.
I want to join you in congratulating the audit committee, but you have to move a motion comprising of the 4 members, and that has to be. There's not going to be election, but you are going to move a motion constituting the committee. So the 2 board directors and the 2 audit committee shareholders and representatives. Then a motion will be moved to that effect, sir.
Thank you so much. I now therefore move a motion that the following people are members of the audit committee for the year 2020. Mrs. Afolakalawa, Mr. Ayeni Phillips, representing the board, and Mr. Osadenizu Chuks, and Mr. Igwede Benedict. Making 4 of them those 2 represented the shareholders. The 4 of them constitute the members of the audit committee for the year 2020.
So I, Ibekwe Robert Adenova, second that motion. So
thank you so much. There is no question of favor. All right. We now move to the special business of our meeting. First is to fix the remuneration of the directors. And I propose that the directors' remunerations for the year ending 31st December 2020 wow, as it is fixed. And the figure I have here is 600,000. For the year 2020. True. For all the directors. And for your information, for the last 2 years, or this is the 3rd year, no directors has received any remuneration from the company, whether sitting allowance or director's fee. We'll give me that. Can I get somebody to please second that motion? Yes, sir. All right. I thereby call on the registrar to announce the voting of the results.
On the resolution to fix the remuneration of directors, we have 100% votes in favor of this resolution, amounting to 142,410,563 units of shares. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much. I declare that the motion was carried unanimously. The second item is in the business is the director's renewal of general mandate for related party transaction. I now propose that the general mandate given to the company to enter into recurrent transactions with related parties for the company's day-to-day operation, including the procurement of goods and services on normal commercial terms in compliance with the NCE rules governing transactions with related parties or interested person be and is hereby renewed. May I have somebody to second that motion, please?
I so second and Timothy.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I have a call on the registrar to please announce the votes.
On the resolution to authorize the company to procure goods and services necessary for its operations from related parties, we have 100% vote in favor of this resolution, amounting to 142,410,563 units of shares. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much. We are proposing an amendment to the Article of Association, and it has been read at the beginning of this meeting. But I want to take it as read. Thank you so much. Can I just get somebody to second that? Yes, madam. Yes. Yes, thank you so much. Registrar, please. Announce the votes.
On the resolution to consider and pass special resolution of the company, we have 100% vote in favor of this resolution, amounting to 142,410,563 units of shares. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much. So the motion was carried unanimously. Ladies and gentlemen, we've now come gradually to the end of this meeting. And before we close the meeting, I want to thank the shareholders for their patience over the years and for their confidence in the management of the company and that of the directors. The journey so far has been tough. It has been really, really tough. That we are surviving, or that we have survived, is the grace of God. As somebody mentioned, one of the shareholders mentioned, he said, the level we are now, we are at the bottom end. We can only rise. We can never go down again. And I can assure you, within the shortest possible time, the shareholders will be beginning to smile. We are all working hard. We try everything possible. A new MD will be signing off very soon. And we all know that we invited consultants to help us reorganize, and they have done the cleaning up. A new MD with a wealth of experience and exposure is taken up almost immediately. And I'm sure by the time we meet next, we will be meeting him, and I'm sure that the result we will be giving you when next we meet will be encouraging. Once again, I thank you for your patience. Believe in us, we also believe in you. The cooperation we have gotten from the shareholders have been very, very, very tremendous. And personally, I appreciate it. You go to some general meeting, you see people fighting, throwing shares, and etc. We have never witnessed that in our meeting. And that is the level of maturity and confidence that the shareholders have displayed so far. We can only make you happy or happier because you have accommodated us. And I can assure you that within the next few years, starting from this year, next year, we will all laugh and we will also thank God for what God has done for us. So with that roundup, I want to call on the acting MD to give the vote of thanks.
Thank you once again. I know what the position of investors could be when it comes to putting your hard-earned money in a particular venture. Yes, this assignment has no doubt challenged every one of us, but with our firm belief that a company that we all can be proud to say this is legacy for all of us, a 65-year-old company in Nigeria must not die. We have received tremendous support from all stakeholders, the shareholders, the government, and those who have actually given us the benefit of doubt to really continue to forge ahead. So on behalf of the board, the management, and all, the staff of Morison Industry PLC, I say thank you very much. Thank you once again.
I will now invite before we take the national item, I invite one of the shareholders to lead us in prayer, closing prayer. Let's have a lady this time around. Madam, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Everlasting God, we thank you for the success of today's meeting. Accept our thanks in Jesus' name. Father Almighty, we call upon you that you will continue to bless our company. Our company will continue to move from strength to strength. By the time we meet here next year, we'll be talking of profits in Jesus' name. Everlasting Father, as we are going to our respective home, we pray to you, O Lord, to take us back to our various destinations safely. In Jesus' mighty name I pray.
Amen. Can we now take the national item, please?